I once had a therapist who told me that our brain is wired to intimate emotional moments. That's why I don't recall what I had for breakfast yesterday morning, but I clearly recall I called my crush teacher mom years back. There are certain moments which never leaves you once it is connected emotionally. But seriously, a handful of words told to you at the right moment can clearly change the trajectory of your lives. Today, I want to tell a handful of situations when I went through which has really changed my life. As a fifth grader and a sixth grader, I always wanted to be a part of the science fair, but I was not ready or the information came to me a bit late. When I was in the seventh grade, I was quite gung-ho about this. As the announcement came, I checked with my friends, I checked with my family. All of them encouraged me. But I never knew what is to be done. So I went to the library and there was a book called 101 Things to Make. I took that, came back home and had an analysis of what I can do. I zeroed up on one thing. It is not a volcano that would come from a splash from a baking soda or a melting man where a man will turn into a skeleton. It was the model of a petrol pump. Yes, a petrol pump. I got working on it, got all the materials, was diligently doing it. I thought that this is the masterpiece of the science fair and this is going to revolutionize the entire science fair episode. As I completed it, I took that and went on to the teacher and showed it to him. And the teacher, is that all? Okay, you stay somewhere over there so that the judges don't see you. Me.
Okay.
But you know what? They included me because there was some perfect quota which have to be filled in. So I was part of the science fair. For the next 3 days, I was quite energetic, explaining how a petrol pump works to not so encouraging crowd which came to me and went by. But I was never to leave. I was very enthusiastic. At the end of the third day, when the awards was supposed to be given, I was all ready. I was sure that my name would be called. I even found out the way to reach the stage quickly so that I get my award. But my name was not called. As reality pumped in, my heart sank, my tears started falling down. But at that point of time, something happened. There was a hand on my shoulder which pulled me aside. That was my class teacher. He came down and told me, "You did a good job. It was wonderful. But your best is yet to come." I tried cleaning my face and tried to give him a smile which never came. I took my bag and as was started walking by, I thought that was something which was I really looking forward to, an acknowledgement of what I did over the last few weeks and the surety for my future that there is something better which is happening. The best is yet to come. Years passed. I came to my alma mater, the engineering college. The moment I got into the class, I was flabbergasted again. The class had everybody who are superstars. The maths whiz solved the equation just like he was ordering a cup of coffee. The mechanics wizard was solving equations and the speed of light and whatever, just like that. Somebody was a wonderful singer. Somebody was a great cricketer. Somebody was a good dancer. Somebody was an ace in everything. And I was nothing. Over the last 2-3 weeks then, I was just finding everything, everybody and every instance that I was not. Things were topsy-turvy. I was going down oblivion, the negative spiral. I was sitting down there in the cafeteria and trying to put peace with myself. And in came a friend of mine. He also had a cup of coffee with him. He checked on me how I am doing. And I was really looking forward to put down all this weight at somebody. I told him all that which was going on in my mind. He patiently listened to me. And as he did his coffee, he got up, looked at me and said, "Dude, I don't think you are going to make it. And he walked by. And me looking at him and said, excellent, boss, thanks. I, at that point of time, was looking for sinkholes to escape. You know what? Mother Earth doesn't give sinkholes when we need it. She gives sinkholes when she needs it. But my professor also had an eye on me. After a few days, when I was walking through the corridor, she found me and she summoned me to go to her office. I went in and she called me and she asked me what I am up to. An opportunity again, I opened up. She sat back and listened. And on the pretext of taking a book and keeping it on the shelf, she walked past close to me, put her hand on my shoulder, exactly like the class teacher who did few years back, and asked me, why are you looking at things you are not? I can tell you at least a handful of things that you are, that none of those members of that class are. Be original. You have it in you. As I was again walking out of her room, what came to my mind was, my unfinished chapters are not to be compared with the finished or published book of others. Time went by. I did my graduation and post-graduation, and I got onto a venture capital firm. The boss there was an alumni of my own alma mater. He opened lots of windows of opportunities. A couple of them were of lot of enthusiasm for me. One is the private finance initiative, and the second one, how the multilateral development institutions work. And I'll tell you, those two windows he opened really changed how my career went over the last 25 years. From there, I went on to another organization, an Indian IT multinational, where my mentor identified 3 criteria that I had, which none of his other team members had. I'm quick in connecting with people. I collect data and information just like that, and I had great energy and enthusiasm. I was the lucky mascot of that group. I connected with people inside and outside organizations. I made a lot of business. I won projects, and they were quite happy with it. At one of those strategic meetings of my team, my boss asked me, what are your future plans? And I said, if I get an opportunity from that one multilateral institution, which I've been pursuing for the last 5 years, I may go. But otherwise, I am here to stay. Soon after, I was posted in a project in Mumbai at Dharavi, the largest slum of Asia. At Dharavi, people don't let you in unless and until they are quite conversant with you or they are comfortable with you. Me and my team took about 10 days to be a part of them. We were invited to their home, we had food, we were invited to the festivities, and we were just like them in a small span of 2 weeks. But then what has to happen has happened. I got a call from that multilateral agency which I was pursuing. I was confused. I have a great job, a great boss, a great project, unique, only one of its kind in the whole world, which I am leading, touching lives of common men, which I'll never get again. I worked up all courage and went on to my boss. And the moment I was walking in, he knew there is something happening. He invited me. He asked me the job description. I explained. By the time I was completing, he closed his laptop, got up and sat on his laptop and said, you should take this opportunity. Why? Because you have a lot to do in that, and gave me a pat on the back. After a few minutes, I was again walking back and I was thinking, this is what happened to this gentleman. He kept my interest first than his team's interest. I was pivotal in that project in Dharavi, but he let me go. And then I understood that mentorship is not about making followers. Mentorship is all about launching leaders. If you look at all the 3 stories which I've mentioned, there is an invisible thread which connects one from the another. The crying boy at the science fair, the student who was looking at for everything other than him, and the guy who was confused to take up his dream job. It was all about perception than potential. All those 3 magical whispers which came my way over a period of time. Your best is yet to come. Be unique, be original, and you can do more there. was the investment my mentors put on me when I couldn't even see myself, when I couldn't even recognize. They knew that I had it in me. Now, after about 35 years, the life has come full circle. Today, along with my work, I do a lot of training and mentorship for a number of people in India and abroad. And when I see one of those professionals sitting at the back, heads down, confused, I slowly walk up to them. I've seen them. I've been him. And I used to sit close to that person to pick a conversation and identify that silver lining that person had in his or her mind. And then finally tell them that his best is yet to come. The defining moments in an individual's life comes not when there is a lot of applause or voice. It comes on those silent moments when you need a hand or a word that whispers to you. It tells about the challenges that you have faced, the difficulty that you have come across, and the experiences that you have created. All those are not the chapters of your book, but all those are whispers that you are going to tell your team and the outer world that you have potential in you. Right now, that person, that petrol bunk guy, is now defining sustainable solutions to people across countries in the world. But at that point of time, he never knew that he will be working on mentoring the second and third generation of students in schools and colleges to come up and build the nation. Those butterfly effect that my school teacher started about 40 years back is still flapping. And at this moment, I am giving it to all of you out here. Whenever you see somebody who's down, who was not recognized well, who feels that he doesn't have it in him, please be there. Please go, sit with that person, listen to their story, identify that sparkling silver line in that person, and tell them, your best is yet to come. Be original, and you can do it. And I'll tell you, this butterfly effect, which happened, is again going to go around and make a great generation out of this wonderful institution. Thank you.